Hello everyone, this is Beyond Boundaries. Welcome to the show. We have Mrs Pooja Bose, Principal of Pastek World School. Welcome to the show.
Hello everyone, I am Pooja Bose and it's a pleasure to be on this interview. I look forward to answering all your questions.
If I add on a bit on this, in our days what happens is generally we spend most of our classes in a single school and we build a strong relationship with a particular teacher. How do you think when you move around the city as a teacher, so that kind of relationship is being built, or how has it been affected or been through your journey?
The relationships do get built, and like any other relationship, 90% of the people whom you meet out of 100, they do not want to carry on with the relationships. It's only 10% people who want to continue to nurture or preserve a particular relationship. The same is the formula with the teacher and student relationship. I know of students whom we have mentored or taught maybe 10 to 15 years ago, and they're still in touch with me. I don't think being in touch is a challenge in the world of social media today, and students always make it a point to reach out, provided they want to reach out. And they do make phone calls, they will connect over the social media sites. And I think the relationships are preserved this way. The ones which don't want to be preserved, which want to kind of fade out with the time, they fade out any which way. The bond of a teacher and a student is not based on any prior expectation. The teacher always wants that at that particular moment when she or he is teaching in a class, wants to give the best to the student. Such has been the intent of me as a teacher also, and I think that has worked very well for me. When you start the role of a principal or an administrator, there are a lot of mistakes that you make. Good part is that you have to learn from those mistakes. If you continue to believe that whatever you are saying or whatever you are doing is the best thing around, there is the problem which many leaders tend to have, that they feel self-pompous.
As you mentioned that most of the countries, unfortunately, not having that privilege of having abundance, having education and those kind of resources, technology. If someone is going forward and building their own management or starting their own teaching place or something, or becoming a teacher, what would be your suggestion or thing you would like tell others that they can do this or particular thing which will slowly and steadily start bringing at least the educational basic changes?
I have a lot to say about this. When you talk about teachers, when we open a post for a teacher, I get so many applications. Those candidates are full of degrees and certificates. When you see the documents, you feel that this person must be greatly endowed with talent and ability. But when you talk to the person, one realizes that the quality of a teacher, even as simple as the subject knowledge or the content knowledge, is missing. Whenever you are studying something, whenever you are doing your B.Ed, whenever you are doing your bachelor's or your master's, first of all, have a learner mindset. Have the desire or the intent to learn what you are wanting to learn, what you are claiming to be. There are people who have done their B.Eds, but they have no knowledge about education. They don't know much about their own subject. They have not read enough. They do not go deeper into the why and how of phenomenons, whatever their subject is. If you are a social study teacher, you must read about current affairs, you must know about geography, you must know about history. You should go beyond the domain of your syllabus. It is not enough that you open a book, the textbook, and start teaching in the class. That's not your role as a teacher. Your role as a teacher is to develop in the students a hunger or a desire to learn. For that, you yourself have to be hungry to learn. So the teachers themselves have to, first of all, enrich themselves if they claim to be educationists.
Do you think technology helps building more curiosity among the students? And is it helping the students to become more curious and explore?
By nature, every child is curious. Technology or no technology, every child is curious to learn and know and explore. Great part about technology is explorative quality in a child can find answers easily. And one thing can lead to the other. When you are curious, you will Google some information and you will get it. And then you want to know more and you want to know more. So curiosity is in fact fueled by technology. It is not killed by technology.
But ma'am, like technology exposes a students vast information and everything. So do you think that thing hampers creativity and innovation and uniqueness in people, in children especially? Instead of thinking something new or create something new, we rather focus, we think that, okay, we have 2-3 things, we will mix those and create our. Instead of, really thinking and innovating.
Creativity is an intrinsic quality. People who believe in cutting and copying and pasting don't want to be creative. That's why they are doing it. For people who want to be creative, they would never ever be satisfied with a copy-paste kind of a product. Let me give you an example.
Yes, ma'am.
If I'm a writer and I want to write on the way people interview, there'll be hundreds of answers to this question on internet. I can also put this question on ChatGPT and I'll get an answer. But is that my answer? Am I happy with that answer? That is a very personal question. I would probably want to take 2% or 3% from what I read and make my own, give my own opinion about it. I can take 10% of it, I can take 50% of it, I can copy paste the whole thing. That's a very personal value which I have. We still have creative people around us. We still have creative musicians, we have artists, we have speakers, teachers. There is no dearth of creative people. The people who are not so creative, the people who lack the ability to innovate or create things on their own, they will always resort to or take help from what others are doing. But ultimately, their ability or their acumen will be recognized. If you have it in you to create something new, it will be recognized and you will be spotted in the crowd. There's no stopping you if you want to.
In brief, I also wanted to know what is really your opinion being a new age parent, because everyone is stepping into new adulthood.
By virtue of my profession, I interact with a lot of parents. Unlike previous times when parenting was taught in the family, you had role models within your family to understand how a mother should behave or how a father should behave. And the child had other people to run to in case there was a need for help if the parents are working or unavailable. So there was the presence of uncles or aunts or grandparents. Slowly the joint family system changed to just maybe the grandparents and the parents in the household. Now we are in an age where mostly a house is comprising of mother, father and child. And that too, if both the parents are working, the child feels very, child has no one else to run to except the parents. Now the parents are also struggling with time, resources, and also they don't have enough experience to deal with the challenges of being a parent. It's often seen that because of lack of any previous model, the parents don't know what it is to give to the child. What is the best thing to give to the child? Many parents feel that because they are not having enough time, to compensate for that, they give too many comforts or too many material resources to the children. Some of them even become highly protective. They have some unrealistic expectations from the society or from the school, and they kind of want to keep their child in a cocooned environment. This certainly leads to the child becoming very, very weak or lack of resilience in the child. So the children, we as parents or as teachers, we have to make our children strong and tough and resilient. To do that, they have to face certain hardships. If a child will not run in an open field, in the ground, get his hands dirty, or fall down while playing sports, the child will never know what it is to get hurt or what to get, a scratch. So the first time a child will get hurt probably will be a time when there are not enough parents or helpers around the child to support the situation, and the child will not be able to handle it himself or herself. So in school settings or in household settings, till the children are with you, you have to make them strong enough to deal with the challenges of the world around them. For that, you have to expose them to those challenges. There's no other way. You have to get into the water to swim, right? So you cannot theoretically swim, or you cannot theoretically drive a car. You have to drive a car to learn to drive. So for that, you have to take risks. You have to take challenges. So that's my message for the parents, that allow your children to be. Do not get overprotective about them.
You have been involved in a lot of international projects and collaborated with schools in Korea, in Japan, and worked with British Council and those kind of esteemed organizations and places. So I wanted to know, how has such international exposure enriched your experience as an educator, and what do you think you have learned or saw there or observed, which is beneficial for our school environment and our children, and what we can learn from those kind of places and institutions?
I'll tell you one very important difference which a child from other countries has as compared to an Indian child. Most of the children across the globe are very independent thinkers. They are allowed to make their own decisions. They are given the charge of thinking about their lives and handling their lives at a very early age. That makes them more capable as adults. I'm not saying that internationally, if you look at children from other countries, they are better as adults. Our children, of course, have the good traits of respecting seniors, giving due regard to the parents, to the grandparents in the family. Our values as family, as a family person, or a kid in the family are certainly much better. But when it comes to making independent decisions, we struggle. We look up to other people to decide for ourselves. We don't even have enough exposure as children to make those informed decisions. Something which we should learn from these kids is their ability to have more faith in themselves and confidence in their thoughts, so that they can decide for themselves. So I think that is one thing which most of the students can develop.
Do you think while coping up, are the international methods similar or different, or depends on each culture and each country?
No, it's the same struggle. The challenges of having too many gadgets with the kids is everywhere, and it has led to distractions. It has led to addictions of mobile and internet also. It is very much there in Western countries. It has seeped into Asian countries also. Dealing with them is also a struggle for the adults. So I think it's a universal phenomena.
Earning methods have come up because of maybe new technologies which used to be a distraction in some days, like YouTube or short form videos were a distraction in some days, but now they are one of the biggest money making things. So do you think in that sense, if someone is, where do you draw that fine line that your kid doesn't cross the line and become a distractor, and just use that medium for a resourceful way or something, in a resourceful way?
You don't draw a line. You actually watch your own self. As a mother or a father, how much time am I spending on social media? Children only watch what is going on around them. To my view, a lot of family members are also indulging in, their time is mostly spent on Instagram or on social media. So the child is only watching and imbibing the same set of habits. YouTube and other such channels are also learning resource. So many DIY channels are there. You just log on to them and learn so many things. It's actually the kind of mindset that you develop in a child. You can use technology, like I said, for your own advantage. You can use technology to just continuously remain in a virtual world, oblivious to the reality around you. So it is really your decision as a parent, what kind of environment you want to give to the child. One thing is very, very sure and clear, that technology is going to enter your lives. So you have to be a responsible individual and a responsible adult. You should have filters everywhere in life also, and on your laptop also. And you should also, till your child is young, you should check the history of the surfing, the browsing history. I think that these are ways in which you can check what is going on and educate them about cyber crimes, educate them about cyber etiquettes.
And thank you so much for taking out our time. And before leaving, any final words or conclusion you would like to say, suggest, or anything you would like to share?
No, thank you for this interview. It was fun. It was like a rediscovery of my own self. So thank you for that.
I had an immense pleasure and such a nice time talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.